Welcome to the Brian Murray Show, a real estate show, New Jersey style. Today's discussion point is the BRRR method. A lot of investors have come to me and asked me about how to get involved with the buy, rehab, refinance, repeat method. They've seen it online, maybe they've even seen it on an infomercial or something like that. I liken the videos and the infomercials to a cooking show. You watch these guys and they prepare this 4-course meal, and they cut and they chop and they dice and they braise and they do all these other things, and it's like it looks super simple, and then they have some stuff prepared and they kind of already mix it together, and then they pop it in the oven, and then 2 seconds later they take out the finished one, and it's like this most amazing thing with like 12 sides and the whole bit. And then you go and you try to do it yourself, and you realize that, oh my gosh, there's like 12 ingredients I got to go to 3 specialty stores for, and I don't really know how to chop this thing the right way, and I don't know how to cook it so it's the right tenderness and that everything flows together. And then, did I cook it right? Did I not cook it right? My oven temperature, and things don't come out right. They take much too long. And at the end of the day, you're like, wow, that really might not have been worth it, or it's not exactly what the show is. Same thing with the BRRR method. It's the buy, rehab, refinance, repeat. But they miss critical components. I'm going to be doing a seminar on these critical components as they overlay, which are financing and management. How do you finance this? You have a property you're acquiring and then you're rehabbing. So those are 2 different types of financing vehicles that you may look at. You may only finance one, just the acquisition and not the rehab. There are some specialty programs out there that we could talk about where you can do both, and they're designed to have a very low down payment so that you are refinancing at the end. So financing is one big piece of it, and the other is how do you manage it? Anybody who's tried to deal with a contractor on a large scale project knows it's not just, and then you rehab it and you move on. It's finding the contractor. It's trying to manage that contractor so they come in on time, on budget, or they even finish it all. And especially if you're off-site and 45 minutes, an hour away, or even longer, how do you get the project done and rehabbed? It is not what they say. It's so much more time. It's so much more trust into somebody that you don't know. And then and I'm certainly addressing those 2 big components, because if you can't figure out how to finance it and you don't know how to manage it, you don't do it at all. It's not this glossy thing, buy, rehab, refinance, repeat. You're going to do it one time and you're going to buy it and you're going to pay the wrong way for it, and it's going to take you forever to rehab it in a day, and it's going to cost you more money. And at the end of the day, you're not going to refinance, you're going to sell it, and you're not going to repeat because it was just a giant headache. So connect with me, because I'm going to walk you through how to actually do it with the buy, finance it when you buy, manage the rehab, and then refi or sell it and repeat. So that's today's discussion point. Today's hot topic: protecting yourself from the coronavirus, whether you're a buyer or a seller. Now, as a buyer, there are several things you can do to protect yourself. 1, don't go to open houses. Connect with an agent, interview the agent over the phone, decide who you want to work with. So you're only dealing with one person. I talked about this in an earlier episode. So you're dealing with one person that's an agent that you're dealing with, that you're not exposing yourself to multiple other buyers or crowds when you're going to an open house. And then when you're actually at the property, assume that every surface that you touch could contain the virus. You don't know if the seller is self-quarantining and, they're still trying to sell their house, and they might just be doing it as an abundance of caution. So when you're there, they're not there, so they think, okay. But then, you lean against the counter, you put your hands on the counter, or you open up a cabinet, you open up the door handles to different closets or bedrooms, and you've got a seller there that might be self-quarantining, or they might not even know. So, my recommendation is, if you are a buyer, that you wear gloves, and you be really cautious that, look, this is somebody else's place, and it should be treated just like a foreign surface of the subway, or a very well-used public place that you're putting your hands on and you don't know. So as a buyer, that's how you would protect yourself, is to eliminate the crowds of open houses, work with a trusted agent, and then make sure that when you're in the homes that you're really protecting yourself from touching things. And as a seller, now you have people coming through your home that you don't know. Most of the time, our home is our sanctuary, it's our castle, it's the thing that we defend the most. We don't let people in that we don't know or that we don't trust. However, when you're selling your home, you have to put a little bit of trust in the people who are coming in, and you don't know anything about them, and you don't know if they've been exposed. They might not know if they've been exposed, and you don't know if if they have other issues, or that they're just like a little bit crazy, and they might even have just the flu and not that, or they may need to go see this property before it goes because it's coming into a bidding war, blah, blah, blah. As a seller, my recommendation is, when people come to your home, that one, you can leave out some gloves so that they can wear them and not touch the surfaces, but two, that you plan on wiping everything down when they're gone. That you wipe down the kitchen counters, and you wipe down those doorknobs and handles and any likely surface that a buyer would put their hands on. Just wipe it all down. You need to protect yourself. So as a buyer, protect yourself, and as a seller, you're protecting yourself as well. And I think that we both sides need to really do a better job of understanding that that even in someone's home, there's a possibility that you could putting yourself in harm's way. That is today's hot topic. The good, the bad, the ugly. The good. People are wearing face masks. Now, the face mask is not so that it'll protect you against the virus or the cold, but if someone is sick or thinks they're sick and they wear a face mask, it is likely to prevent them from spreading their sneezes or coughs any further than the mask. So that's good. Thank you so much, people who are feeling a little ill, for wearing the masks. The bad, self-quarantine. I know several buildings in Jersey City where there are people self-quarantining. However, it's not widely known. There's no real reporting mechanism on quarantining. Some of the politicians, they go out and they say, oh yeah, we're self-quarantining because we ran into somebody here or there. But you don't know if your neighbor is self-quarantining. I mean, I really think that there should be some way to communicate that to people, so that, if you're taking your garbage down the hall, you might still be self-quarantined, but that your neighbor knows that maybe they take extra precautions when they touch a common doorknob or a common elevator, that there's actually somebody here who is taking another level of preventative. So the bad is that there's really no level to let people know that there's a self-quarantine. And then the ugly are all of these postponed and canceled events. I know that people are cautious, and maybe rightfully so, but the ugly part is that there are businesses out there that are, especially the small businesses, that are going to be hurt because there's revenue that they're losing that's never coming back. And I think that you're going to see a lot of small businesses as this goes on, that if there are continued postponed events, from basketball games to rock concerts to trade shows, that you're going to start to see a real impact on the small business person that relies on these to survive. And it's an unfortunate side effect of maybe some necessary precautions. So that is the ugly. Our inspirational quote today is, "No one is born a great cook. One learns by doing." If you take that back to the BRR method, hey, you have to learn how to become a great investor. You have to learn just like as a buyer, you have to see a lot of homes to learn the market, to become a great buyer. You have to learn things. The only way you really get good at something is by doing it. And you might not be the best the first time you do it. You might not be the best investor or the best home buyer, and you might buy something that's like, oh, you know, I wish I had done this or that. Just like when you buy a car. By the time you've done it 2, 3, 4 times, you really kind of know. You get that level of experience. So one learns by doing. That's our inspiration for today. This has been the Brian Murray Show. Thank you for watching. If you did get any value out of it, please follow us on social media, share it with a friend. All of our past episodes are on the murraypropertygroup.com. I welcome your feedback. If there is anything that you disagree with in the show, please reach out to me directly, and I'll show you why you're wrong.